to Infield Fly. It is baseball season. Well, we're 10 days away from baseball season, but close enough. Just a couple of days away from the Soul Series. So season is getting underway here at 5 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Who's going to get up for that? Should be fun. Padres and the Dodgers.
No,
I'm getting up early for it. I'm doing it.
I'll do a DVR. I do the DVR
Fly.
for it. I'm DVRing that, man.
all right.
DVR? Yeah, that's probably.
Are we all still old enough that when I DVR something, I tell my son I taped it? I still say I taped
Yes,
it.
yes. I do that
taped
sometimes.
it.
I have to stop myself from doing that, man.
That's why we're baseball fans. We're old.
That's exactly right. I'm Rob Fisher. I'm a Cardinals fan, and we got some news this week. So, yeah, we'll discuss that. Keith Murphy is here. He's a Cubs fan. Hello, Keith.
What's popping, y'all?
Nothing, man. And then Lang Whitaker. He's an Atlanta Braves fan. He's with us as well. Hello, Lang.
Hello, guys.
Yes, it is almost the start of the season. Spring training is winding down. We are 10 days away from opening day, and we got a lot of things to kind of catch up on. And yeah, it's been it's how much spring training, Lang, have you paid attention to?
I haven't watched a lot. The Braves were actually supposed to be on Saturday, and I tuned in to MLB Network, or Sunday. It was supposed to be the Braves Red Sox on MLB Network, and I tuned in and the Yankees were on. And I was like, well, screw this. So I turned it off. It's hard to watch spring training games too much, at least with the Braves, because like the best players don't really play that much. Whenever I watch, it's always like the minor league guys and the prospects. So I haven't paid that much attention. I'm just mostly just hoping Chris Sale doesn't get injured.
Yeah, no kidding. I think that's kind of the theme of spring training. I'm the same way. I haven't really paid much attention. Seen some scores or followed on Twitter, but haven't watched much. Spring training's really cool to watch in person.
Right.
Just because, it's a small crowd, intimate setting, big league baseball, and it's a lot of fun, and the weather's perfect, where it's probably not perfect where you're at.
The prices are cheaper too.
Prices are cheaper. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fun to go to spring training in person, but to watch on TV, I don't know. Every day I kept thinking, oh, I'm going to turn on the Cardinals today. And then I'm like, let's just get to the regular season and get things going. And so I haven't watched a lot, just trying to hope that everybody stays healthy. And the staying healthy thing hasn't really worked out for the Cardinals either, this spring training. Murph, have you watched much?
I have not watched much, but I am going to watch that the Shohei games out in Korea. I'm going to definitely watch that. I just think that I'm like an old school. For like the past 5 years, I haven't watched spring training because when I watched it previously, my team was horrible in the season. So I just thought, you know how baseball fans are.
It was your fault.
Right. It's kooky. So I was like, man, I'm not going to watch that. So it's been like about 4 or 5 years I haven't watched spring training, and that's been for a reason.
So you don't jinx things.
Yeah, for a salient reason. Like kooky baseball fans,
Well, before we get into some of the stories of Major League Baseball, a couple of notes, a couple of rules changes. All right, you ready for the rules changes?
Yes, let's get it on.
All right. Major League Baseball is widening the runner's lane approaching first base to include a portion of fair territory, changing a more than century-old rule that caused World Series controversy over interference calls. This makes sense.
Yes.
That the runner's lane will actually be a fair runner's lane now.
Right.
I don't understand.
It's widening now. The lane is gonna
so it's on both
because the
sides
lane has always been
of the foul line.
It's always been in foul territory,
right.
And now it's on both sides because it never made sense. If the runner's lane's in foul territory, how do you get to the base?
Right.
And for a right-handed batter to go down the line, I mean, you almost have to make a turn to get outside.
Right, because you see all of those turns, Lang, when they're running, and it always seem to be it's like an oblong kind of situation where they're getting to. Now I know the crusty old man, and he was looking at this like, why are they even doing this? But I think it's gonna. First of all, I don't like collisions at first base. I don't mind them. Like, truth be told, I never minded them at home because that's like, you're trying to strike somebody out.
Yeah.
Man, it's running, bang, bang plays, but that should not be any collisions at first base, man. It's just, come on, dude.
I mean, I just think it's funny you don't like collisions only at first base. You're okay with them at other places.
Yeah, because it makes no sense. It's like, you're there. It should be like you're either out or you're not out. And then you cause injuries by people sliding head first.
Yeah, but that's the runner's fault. That has nothing to do with the.
But it's because of in their mind, they're thinking, I don't have any, like this guy's blocking me. I want to go underneath his leg. Like,
yeah, but we've been like, I remember my little league coach telling us, like, you always just run through first base, never slide to first. The worst thing you can do is slide into first because it slows you down, right? Like you just run through first every single time.
And dudes still do it, and we heard it in third grade.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's good.
I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference.
It's good. Here's why it's good. Because we don't need controversy in the World Series because a dude was not in the baseline.
Right.
In what was a ridiculous baseline to begin with. So that's why it's good. So we don't have that sort of controversy anymore. Also, baseball is shortening the pitch clock with runners on base by 2 seconds from 20 to 18.
Love it.
And also reducing mound visits in an effort to speed up games from 5 to 4.
I like that one. The mound visit thing.
Yeah.
But don't they try to get around that though? Like when they try to do the fake injury thing, like they a little arm and then a manager comes out and the
I don't know. I was noticing, now in the NBA, I don't know if you notice this, like now they've figured out a way. Jokic does this all the time, where the other team's throwing the ball in bounds and he pretends to tie his shoe and gives the Nuggets time to like watch a replay and decide if they want to challenge now.
Right.
Like he'll buy like an extra 15 seconds every single time and it works. Like he gets away with it. So I'm sure they're going to come up. Some baseball players are going to come up with some new way of wasting time, delaying things and buying a few more seconds here or there. Especially these pitchers, now that they have 2 less seconds with guys on base, like that's going to feel like taking away 20 seconds. Because their time's so precious to those guys.
Yeah, no. So I like it. I like both rule changes. I'm in. Let's go baseball. Miguel Cabrera has retired from baseball, so the sport is about to reach an historically rare stretch. Going into 2024, the active leader in hits, home runs, and wins are respectively Joey Votto.
Yeah,
is your hits leader with 2135. Giancarlo Stanton has 402 home runs, and Justin Verlander has 257 wins. That means the entire season will be played without any members of the 3,500 or 300 win club appearing on an MLB roster. The last time that happened was 1977. Time before that was 1948. How about that? Meanwhile, it looks like a streak that continue well beyond 2024 as the classic Hall of Fame counting thresholds become more and more elusive. 3,500, 300, those numbers probably, they got to change.
Yeah. We're not reaching those numbers anymore.
3,000,
3,000 is hard.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's attainable.
But I think all those numbers are changing. Anyway, now it's veterans committees putting these guys in, and like the whole Hall of Fame thing has gotten so different the last 5-10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's really, it doesn't feel like anything's automatic anymore.
No, it's not. It's now more eye test than anything to put people in the Hall of Fame. All right, looking at our teams this week, the Braves, Acuna's knee, is everything okay?
All good. He went to his old doctor in California and everything's fine. We're good.
What does that mean? What
Nothing
does
to
the
worry
doctor
about.
in California do?
I don't know. That was the terrifying part.
What does that mean?
That was the terrifying part, was that he played in a game and then the next day they said he had soreness in that repaired knee, and then they sent him to the doctor in California to have it looked at. We were like, I was texting with some of my buddies. We were like, there's doctors in Florida he could go to. Right. There's doctors in Atlanta. Like, I don't know why they had to send him to Los Angeles to the guy who did the surgery. That raised a lot of flags and like terrified a lot of Braves fans. But then, and it like they sent him out there on like a Monday night and they didn't announce anything until the next day, which was terrifying. But now it turns out he's fine and he's playing again and he says he's fine. So we're good.
You seem to be taking their word.
I mean, we don't have any choice. You know, he's playing. He says he's good. So, you know, if he's out there, I'm good with it.
Well, that's good. And Adam Duvall is back.
Hey, how you like that?
How do you like that? How many
the funny part
is
about
this
that,
for Adam Duvall?
This is third time separated by 3 years. The last time he was here was when we won the World Series. He was actually the center fielder because everybody was hurt back then. Acuna was out, remember, and they traded for him. And they traded for Duvall. He was one of those deadline guys. And he ended up starting in center field that whole playoff run. I assume like this is, they're not saying this, but you know they traded for Kelenic from the Mariners, or Kelenic, I don't know how you say it.
Kelenic.
And they traded for him and put him in left field, and they kept the writers who cover the Braves kept saying the Braves are going to let him play. They're not going to have him looking over his shoulder, being nervous about having to platoon or losing his job in left field. He's going to be the everyday left fielder. Meanwhile, he was terrible in spring training. He has been so bad in spring training against lefties and righties. He's just not hitting at all. And they kept saying, "Well, no, Braves are confident he's going to be fine. They're going to work this out." And then all of a sudden, they trade for Adam Duvall. Like, oh, okay, I guess they're going to platoon him after all. And then they were like, "Yeah, he's going to platoon." So yeah, I guess he's going to platoon in left field. I mean, but look, Duvall is awesome, against righties. So hopefully that or against lefties. So hopefully that just gives Duvall a job to do and gives someone who can hit 20 home runs from one side of the plate at least.
What is it about Duvall that the Braves keep coming back?
I don't know. He must be a great clubhouse guy, right? Like
got to be something, right? Like,
yeah, they
must
like him.
Very odd. You said the last 3 years?
Yeah, it's third time separated by 3 years every time.
Okay, yeah, so that's odd.
Yeah, he's a good hitter, and I know that. I mean, all the guys on the team like him, and they got him for $3 million for a year, which is pretty affordable.
Yeah,
to pick up a guy for $3 million in the middle of spring training, I feel like that's a pretty good deal. By the way, who's leading the Braves in hits in spring training?
Who?
Marcell Ozuna.
Well, of course.
Yeah, he's there. Also, the other news from spring training, from what I can tell, is that Spencer Strider now has a curveball.
Oh wow, that's scary.
Yeah, he's been like mowing people down. Leads the Braves in strikeouts in spring training. He's been like lights out. So kind of interesting.
He's been pretty unbelievable. In pitching wise, I guess the Sale thing is one of the big things. If he can stay healthy, how much can he help?
Yeah, well, the first part's the more important part, right?
Yeah,
he can stay healthy. Like, he's healthy right now. He's been pretty good. He got hit a couple times in spring training, but he's had some like clean appearances too. So like, I kind of feel like right now, shut him down. Like, let's shut him down until August.
Put him in bubble wrap.
Yeah, like we don't need him. Like let's let him sit. We can score 6-7 runs a game. Like, let's let him sit and rest and rehab, whatever he needs to do. Pitch once every 2 weeks. I don't know, something. But let's keep him healthy until later in the season.
Yeah.
And we're also like, Ian Anderson should come back around All-Star. So like there's other arms on the way. But like at this point, I think Bryce Elder, who was an All-Star last year, is like their 6th starter, maybe 7th. So like we have some depth there. And AJ Smith-Shawver from the minors, who came up last year, he's been really good in spring training. They ended up sending him back down. They have arms. They have like some options that they could go with there. So I just don't want, like, can we just not have our starters all be hurt again all season long? Like,
right.
And look, you went out, this is something that might happen with Chris Sale. This has happened a lot. He's been hurt a lot. So maybe let's like just be very, very careful with him.
Yeah. Murph, your Cubs, the big news was, since we last talked, was Cody Bellinger's back. 3 years, $80 million. That's good news.
Great news. And I think
Got that hometown discount you
got the
were asking for.
We got it, and I think
Got that Scott Boras as an asshole.
Yeah, listen. You beat me to it, Fish. Scott Boras. First of all of Scott Boras's clients this year either have taken a haircut or is some sort of thing going on where the owners are like, "F that guy, F that guy." Like we're not going to be doing the hostage thing with you anymore.
Yeah.
And I think he was trying to be too cute with Bellinger. I think, the Cubs brass were very respectful. They weren't, you didn't see too much negativity amongst the fans. They understood what it was. But when he took that deal, people knew what it was about. They knew that, look, dude, nobody's going to give you a better deal than the Cubs. Like, stop playing around. He was trying to sniff over on the West Coast, trying to get to some other Midwest teams. Like, come on, man, just take the $80 million and just play. Because we saved you. We
never really heard other teams in on him.
They were sniffing around, but he was asking for too much, Fish.
Yeah.
He was asking for too much. Well, Boras was asking for too much. So it is what it is. I'm happy that we was able to do that and not go crazy with it, because he was on it. I mean, I don't want to say the trash heap, because that's just being too, But
it was close.
We took a chance on that dude, and he delivered, and he needs to understand. And I know sports is not a, you were good to me, so I'll give you a pay cut, No,
right.
But come on, dude. Nobody was thinking about no Cody Bellinger before that.
No.
Not in those terms.
But now you need him to be an all-star.
Well, I think he will be. I think he's gonna hit anywhere from 25 to 30 home runs and have a decent batting average. And I want to see what he does defensively, if he still can bring it defensively. But listen, for that deal, man, that's like I know it's silly money. We're talking about $80 million being like like finding change in the sofa, but that's a pretty damn good deal.
Yeah. What are your biggest questions with the team?
Depth, pitching depth. I know after losing Marcus, and I know we still got Steele, missing out on, everybody's hurt that they missed out on Shohei. It was just a thing. But getting Yamada, we needed a lefty. I think he fits the bill. They're throwing around a superstar word with him, which makes me cringe a little bit. But we'll see what he does. But it's about pitching. It's about relief. I like our offense. I have no problem with our offense. I have no problem with our defense. I think at the shortstop position defensively, we're ace. Second base, we're ace. Third base, we're pretty good. So defensively and offensively, I like us. The pitching depth, I just got to see how that turns out.
I think there are three teams, maybe even more in the Central, who all can go into the season thinking they can win the division.
Yeah.
I think the Cubs. I guess the Brewers, right?
Yeah, I was about to say Milwaukee.
Don't say it. Don't say the third one.
Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I thought you were going to say the Cardinals.
Jonathan India just came out and said we're going to win the division.
Yeah.
And then the Cardinals go into the season. I'm not saying I think they're going to win the division. But I think
you guys haven't made any.
Who's saying that? Who's saying the Cardinals are going to win it?
You haven't made any moves, man.
Well, they got a whole new pitching staff.
Got Sonny Gray. What are you talking about?
I know Sonny Gray.
Opening day ace.
I'm talking about offensively. What's going on offense, dude?
Arenado, Goldschmidt, Jordan Walker, the young stud.
So they're finally going to let him rock.
Yeah, and then we got this new stud, Victor Scott. He's a center field phenom. Apparently, the fastest dude they've had since Vince Coleman.
Oh,
wow!
And who can just electrify you on the base paths.
Where'd he come from?
It's funny. You read all this stuff about this Victor Scott, and he can get to any ball in the field. He can fly throughout the outfield. He can track everything down.
What's the issue then?
When he's on the bases, he can fly around the bases and steal you extra bases and get you extra runs. There's no talk about whether or not the guy can hit.
That must be it.
The running thing is really great if you can get on base.
Right.
But I don't know if he can get on base.
Did this guy, considering how, the Cardinals the last couple of years have been so bad and they had all those prospects playing,
Right.
Like why hadn't we heard about this guy before now?
Great question. I don't know.
How old is
I
this
mean,
kid? How old is this kid, Fish?
I don't even know
32.
that. They're talking about
He's 32 years old.
I don't know.
they're talking about whether or not he'll make the opening day roster, but Tommy Edmonds hurt, so he might make the opening day roster and take that spot and then maybe get a chance to play. But he apparently is some young speedster phenom. So we'll see what happens with him.
I mean that works if you're in the Olympics, you know.
Yeah, I know. Cardinals signed Brandon Crawford. So there's that. A nice veteran backup.
I like that
infielder.
I like that move.
Sonny Gray, big pickup for the Cardinals. He's out with a hamstring injury, so he will not start on opening day.
How serious are they saying it? Is it just a regular hammy?
Well,
what are they saying?
Discomfort, tightness.
Okay.
No real timetable, but he's not pitching opening day, so they already know that a couple weeks from now he's not going to be ready to go. Miles Michaelis gets the opening day start for the Cardinals.
Victor Scott's 23, by the way.
23.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Do you have any hitting numbers on him?
He's from Atlanta. His dad is a member of the Morris Brown College Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
Let's see what else we can find out about this guy.
I don't think they have any information about him hitting. That's the thing.
That was his Wikipedia. Now I'm on his baseball reference page. He career minor league. He has I'm trying to figure this out. Batting average 278 average.
Okay, not bad.
I'll take that.
199 walks, 300 strikeouts.
And stolen bases, 817.
Stolen bases, 251 in 400 games.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
5'10", little guy.
Little guy. Bring him up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah, Sonny Gray's out. And then the big news for the Cardinals this week, Oli Marmol gets a 2-year extension.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to explain that. This is what I've been waiting to hear from you. When I saw that, my eyes flashed to you just seething.
My eyes lit up.
like what? Fish, what's going on in your head with that? Seriously, dude.
I surprisingly will say, I guess it's not a terrible move, only because you don't want a manager who's completely lame duck.
Well, that was what the GM said, right?
I mean, you can fire a
about
manager
this.
with 2 years on his contract left.
When I saw the headline, I read the
him.
article because I thought this is going to be hilarious. And so I read the article, and the general manager said what you're telling us right now, Fish. It was the same line. It was that they didn't want to go into the season with Marmol being in the last year of his contract, and they didn't want him to be a lame duck. And so they were going to extend him. And so he would have the full, whatever, faith of the players,
organization.
Yeah. But does it help to extend somebody if they're not good? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is he's back, and he's back for this year. So,
and 2 more.
If he stinks this year, I think you fire him. You fire him with 2 years left on his contract.
They will clip him. If you guys
that's happened before. I mean, how many times have you heard, well, they just signed him to an extension and now they fired him? I mean, I guess it's something you have to do just so you don't have the lame duck. But I don't know. He's got a lot to prove to me.
Yeah.
I'll never forget sitting in LA with that man, and he said, I can't wait till that parade down Clark Street to prove everybody wrong. Well, man, when's that going to happen? I don't know. I don't know what he was talking about. But he's going to have to show something this year. The team's going to have to show something this year, because last year was an embarrassment, and last year was not the Cardinal way.
I don't know.
You like that?
I saw that extension and I laughed. I was like, oh man, this has got to be killing Fish.
Lance Lynn, new Cardinal pitcher,
number 2 starter,
old Cardinal pitcher, back to a new Cardinal pitcher. He had his first spring training start and was ejected. in the game.
How you gonna get ejected in the spring training?
Here, I'll tell you exactly how.
Let me guess. He got squeezed by the pitch clock. He got mad.
No. Angel Hernandez was the umpire.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
He then, so he gets ejected, right? And he still had another inning left to throw. So he went down to the bullpen and he started throwing, and they delayed the game until he left the ballpark. So he got kicked out of the bullpen as well. According to MLB.com writer John Denton, Lynn said that Hernandez started chirping at the Cardinal dugout, and I told him they know it was a strike. He told me, let's go. And I told him, I have 5 seconds on the pitch clock, and I'll start whenever I feel like it. I threw the next pitch, and I was like, there's a strike for you. And he told me, goodbye. Why is Angel Hernandez still an umpire in baseball?
I don't know.
Early season form.
I don't know. That's a great question. Why is Angel Hernandez still an umpire in baseball? Like that's a question we've been asking for a decade now, and nobody has the answer for it.
Is he the most polarizing?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's been some crazy ones over the years.
What about polarizing, like official in sports?
Yeah,
it might be him in all sports. I know, like a lot of there's the NBA.
Because NBA is going nuts right now.
Some of them all hate Scott Foster whenever he does the Chris Paul games or whatever, or James Harden. But nobody is probably as disliked as Angel Hernandez
since Joey Crawford left. Well, and that's the thing. I don't think people really hated Joey Crawford.
Yeah.
I mean, they hate Angel Hernandez. Because he's terrible at his job.
Yeah, he's bad for every team. Like it's not just bad for some teams. Yeah,
he's got no favoritism.
No.
He's terrible.
He's universally bad.
Yes, yes, unbelievable. Threw Lance Lynn out of a preseason game, spring training game. Unbelievable. It reminds me, one time I was in spring training, covering the Cardinals, and the Marlins were. I had an off day from covering the Cardinals because they were on the road. And the Marlins were playing. So I went to the Marlins game, and, because it was fun to go to a Marlins game because there's only about 50 people there, and you're sitting close, and Angel's umpiring first base, and there's a ground ball to first, a little slow roller to first, pitcher covers, it's flipped over to first, pitcher gets him out, and Angel's sitting there, and he's like down on his knee for the call, and he goes, and he punches the guy out, and the whole stadium could hear him screaming. You're like, what are you doing? And I screamed out from my perch. I said, Angel, I paid to see you. And I screamed it out. And the guys from the Marlins bullpen looked up, and they kind of started laughing. And Angel kind of looked up in the crowd. And I'm like, this guy's ready to throw me out of the ballpark because he heard that comment. So then the next play, there's a ground ball to first base. And I was like, gun him, Angel, gun him. Go throw him out. And he goes, and I started screaming for Angel again. And I said, I paid to see you, Angel. So like a month later, he's in St. Louis working a game, and he went to a bar after the game, and a friend of mine worked at the bar, and she was actually at spring training with me, and she goes up to him and she says, hey, do you remember in spring training someone saying, I paid to see you, Angel? He says, well, he like finished her sentence, and he said, oh, I paid to see you, Angel. Yeah, I remember that. And she's like, oh, that was a friend of mine. He's like, oh, tell him I said hello. What an ass.
So did the guy actually think that he was like, it's some terms of endearment?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Is he like lost inside of the joke? Is the joke going over his head?
He thought Fish liked him.
Yeah, he probably thought I did pay to see him umpire. He was ridiculous. All right, some news from around Major League Baseball. The New York Mets, no extension for Pete Alonso. He's going to go into this season. He'll be a free agent after next year. And Mets say no deal will be done before the end of the season.
Man. What are they thinking about?
I spoke to a Mets fan last week who said that he thinks this is it. Alonso, either the Mets are going to like make a run and go to the playoffs and all that, or they trade Alonso by the deadline.
Yeah.
Why are they pussyfooting around with this kid?
They don't have the money. They're a cheap franchise.
How do they not have the money?
I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
They're a cheap franchise. They're poorly run, and classic Mets.
Poorly run.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they haven't extended him, or who's his agent? Is it Scott Boras?
I don't know. Good question. I mean, 40 home run a year guy.
Yeah.
That's pretty ridiculous.
I'll take him.
And like a guy who's only played for you, like a homegrown guy, like I don't know.
Mets also interested in JD Martinez as a free agent. So good luck with that. Cincinnati Reds, Jonathan India says the Reds will win the division. Reds are going to be fun. I mentioned the 4 teams that think they can win the Central Division. I didn't even mention the Pirates, but the Pirates, with all their young players that they have and coming up, and O'Neal Cruz being back as well this year. I mean, the Pirates could be one of those sneaky young, no one thinks of teams as well. So it could be a 5-team race.
Remember last season, Fish, we talked about the fact that they were playing a lot of their young guys. How it was going to benefit them for the next season. So I think that's actually going to happen.
Yeah. They'll be interesting to watch. National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Mookie Betts is playing shortstop now. Why not? Right?
Sure.
I mean, he can do just about anything. The San Diego Padres, meanwhile, they get Dylan Cease in a trade with the Chicago White Sox. Mike Schilt is the manager of the San Diego Padres, the former Cardinals skipper. I think the Padres will be interesting. Are they going to be better without Soto?
Might be.
It's a good question.
What did they plug up the hole for him? Like who are they trying to put in that position?
I don't know. I saw them beat the Korean team 1-0 the other day.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, I think. So I don't know. They seemed like they were playing hard, and I saw Tatis stealing bases and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a full season of Tatis. That's pretty much the biggest.
Well, that's what you want to
thing.
You want to cross your fingers with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's had issues. So
in the American League, is Soto other than Shohei, is Soto the biggest signing this offseason?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Probably.
Yeah. Especially with the Yankees, when you're thinking about the Yankees.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be good there. I mean, that's short porch, and I guess he'll be good there.
Well, if he swings, Fish, like will he swing? That's the question, because he's always looking
to walk.
Looking for that walk, man. So
exactly.
He's got
swing the bat, dude.
Yeah, he's got to start swinging the bat, because they will boo him.
Oh, heck yeah!
If he pulls that stuff that he was pulling out,
where he's walking and shuffling and doing his stupid little dances at home plate. Yeah.
By the way, Pete Alonso's agent, Scott Boras.
Really?
He can't make it up.
He hired him a year ago.
Can't make it up.
Well, maybe he'll end up with the Cubs too. Garrett Cole is out the opener, and he's out 10 to 12 weeks for the Yankees. That's not good news.
That's crazy.
Nasty Nestor Cortez will get the start on opening day for the New York Yankees.
What's going to happen with Blake Snell?
Apparently the Astros now are the team that's, I mean, hell, it's
I saw them say
before the season.
The Yankees might be in on him now because the injury to Cole.
Yeah.
But because of the tax thing, if the Yankees sign him to like something, whatever, like a 1-year, $30 million deal, they end up having to pay $60 million because of the tax.
Insane.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe Houston. I don't know.
Yeah, Houston apparently.
I've been hearing Houston. That's the name I've been hearing.
They're in on him. This is a Cy Young Award winner from last year. Why doesn't anybody want him?
What's the apprehension?
I don't know. I don't know.
The bad locker room guy? Like it's got to be something.
Who's his agent?
He's older. It's what's his name? Boris. It really is.
Jeez.
Blake Snell's 30 years old. I mean, it's not that old.
It's not that old at all.
Yeah.
He's in his prime. 30 in baseball terms.
Boy, Scott Boras thought he was going to get loaded this offseason.
That's exactly what he thought.
Yeah. I mean, he won the Cy Young, but remember, like his record was 14-9. Like, it wasn't like he was like, lights out.
I wonder if he was getting any base support.
I'm sure that was the thing. I think he kind of won the Cy Young because like the advanced stat people looked at it and like made this case for him.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of he played 30. I'm looking at his stats right now. 32 games, 32 starts. He only walked 99 people. He struck out 234.
Oh, that's an insane number.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah. By the way, the Yankees will be immortalizing one of television's most beloved characters in a giveaway this season. The Yankees announced the team will be giving away George Costanza bobbleheads. How about that?
I like it.
That's a good idea.
The assistant to the traveling secretary.
Assistant
I was
to
the only thing I was upset about. Seinfeld's my favorite show of all time. The only thing I was upset about was the bobblehead. Like it should have been George taking a nap underneath the desk. Do you remember, like he figured out a way to sleep under his desk at Yankee Stadium and get naps in? He had a little alarm clock on the shelf and everything. I wish it was like George hiding under the desk taking a nap.
Every time I think about the fact that it was Larry David doing the voice for Steinbrenner, it just cracks me up.
Yeah.
Because now I can't get out of my head. Every time he talks, I'm like, oh man, that's Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
Toronto Joey Votto trying to make the team. He went deep in his first spring training game for the Blue Jays. That'd be nice. It'd be nice for Joey Votto. Joey Votto's good for the game. Joey Votto would be good in the game, and Joey Votto's a Canadian, so it seems like it's perfect.
Good clubhouse guy.
Yeah. I've always liked Joey.
Baltimore Corbin Burns, also one of the biggest signings this offseason, as he goes to the Baltimore Orioles as they look to contend in the American League East. Boston interested in Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery's still available.
Boston's interested in everybody, Fish, at this point.
Yeah. They better be.
Jeez, man. The bad luck on that team.
Houston wanting to go after Blake Snell, Justin Verlander being on the injured list, and the Angels, remember the Angels, they're going after JD Martinez as well. To add to Mike Trout, and that's all they have.
Are we going to have a countdown clock from when they're going to trade Trout? I think we should have that.
I mean, imagine if Trout and Pete Alonso get moved at the trade deadline. That would be like epic, you know.
But if Trout doesn't want to get traded, I mean, do you hold on to him if you're the Angels? I mean,
there was a story the other day in the Athletic, I think, about spring training at the Angels and how everyone's in a great mood and like it feels like because the Ohtani thing is settled now, like everyone's sort of like able to kind of be themselves and they've turned the page. I mean, look, we're all big Ron Washington fans, right? Like that's the perfect guy to have there at this point in time, and you know, like
very loose,
the expectations are low now, right? What do you like if they go 500? People are going to be like, oh wow, look, they're turning a corner, they're building something new. So I don't know, I'm going to kind of root for them.
Yeah. Ron Washington, skipper of the Los Angeles Angels. I played a game last night with a friend. Name the manager.
Oh boy.
Ooh, man, it is tough.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to do that, man.
I actually did really well, but it was a tough game.
All right. This is like who he managed for.
Who he managed. Yeah, that's pretty much the way it was. But we'll know those as the year goes on. We'll become more familiar.
When Angel Hernandez throws them out of games.
That's right. When Angel Hernandez starts throwing people out.
Fish, did you see the news that came out about how the impact the Shohei's had on tickets going from Japan and how crazy that is right now? Like there was this report that for every 5 tickets that StubHub has sold for the Dodgers game, 1 has been purchased by a fan in Japan.
Wow.
And the average ticket price on the road for the Dodgers is $122.
Wow. It's
insane.
He's different. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to get up at 5 a.m. on Wednesday and watch him play. Or 3 a.m. actually here on the West Coast. So I'm gonna get up at 3 and watch, or maybe stay up till 3 and
just tape it. Just
watch
tape
him hit. I'll tape it. Yeah. Watch him hit in that first inning and then go to bed. But looking forward to it. Looking forward to the Dodgers and the Padres. That's Wednesday and Thursday this week that they will be playing. And then opening day, 10 days away from today, as all of Major League Baseball will get started. And we are started now. We'll be with you each and every week here on Infield Fly as well. That's all I got today, fellas. You got anything else?
That's about it. The fact that Shohei's going to be the ticket this year. I mean, I wish I could afford to see him when he comes to to New York, but I doubt I'll be able to get any tickets for that. It's nuts right now for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
I'm
kidding.
just ready. I'm ready for the games to start and ready for the have the games on every night.
I'm excited because my team's still in the race. I'm in the race. We're all in the race. 0-0 is perfect.
Fish, who's going to be our starting pitcher for the Cubs? The
Opening
season,
day?
the season, yeah, opening day. Is
Steele, right?
It's going to be Steele, right? Because I heard that
Hendricks.
I heard Steele has some issues with his elbow. I hope that hasn't
Oh, well, that's not
inflamed.
good.
But we'll.
I mean, maybe
nothing crazy,
Hendricks.
nothing crazy. Just
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Probably it's
Strider
probably
for
gonna
the
be
Braves,
Steele.
right?
Yeah.
It's got to be Strider.
Or Freed, depending on who's like your home starter, who's your roads, like on when the season starts. I don't know, but one of them.
Yeah, and then
I would get Strider.
Miles Michaelis for the Cardinals.
The fact
And
that
his
you got to say the
mustache.
name twice.
We went and signed 3 starting pitchers, and Miles Michaelis is our opening day starter.
Would you rather be Lance Lynn?
Nope. No. Would obviously rather have it be Sonny Gray, but he's got a hamstring issue. All right, that's going to do it for us this week here on Infield Fly. We're back with you each and every week throughout the baseball season and starting today. So happy to be back with you, and we'll continue to do it throughout the season. For Lang, for Murph, I'm Fish. Thanks for joining us here on Infield Fly. We'll talk to you again next week here on Grind City Media.